A surprising amount of professional athletes have been labeled as flat earthers. NBA players Kyrie Irving, Draymond Green, and retired Shaquille O'Neal.
You went on a podcast and you said you believe the earth was flat. Do you actually, do you want to reel that in, or you still believe the earth is flat?
You know what, you've always tried to come back, take the statement back, but
yeah, but
on that podcast,
flat.
I was just really like, man, what's going on within our world? And just a whole bunch of truth and conspiracy. I was just like, whoa, this is too much for me. And then I come out and say that, and then, whoo, the reaction it got.
And my theory is, I bought a bus a couple summers ago. So when I drive from Florida to California, it seems flat to me.
I see, okay.
So you ever been in a flight and you get ready to land and you pull up the window and you look?
Yeah.
It seems flat, right?
Well.
So that was my theory. I'm just joking.
NFL players such as Stephon Diggs and Sammy Watkins.
I said, Sammy, you're not one of those guys who thinks the earth is flat, are you? And he goes, well, yeah, I do. And I said, Sammy. And he said, I do. And I said, I'm tweeting this. And he said, okay. And I said, ask him a couple more times, like, Sammy, really? And he goes, yeah, okay. So I tweeted it. There's the tweet. It's out there.
Add to this list WWE superstar AJ Styles and rapper B.O.B.
I see only good things on the horizon. That's probably why the horizon is always rising. Indoctrinated in a cult called science, and graduated to a club full of liars. Flatline, you fooled us for the last time. Flatline, flatline.
Hey AJ, do you want to talk about how you think the earth is flat?
Do you want to talk about how your feet are flat?
They are flat, but like he legitimately thinks the earth is flat.
I do not think the world is flat. I'm just saying there's some stuff about it.
He's a flat earther. So he wants to say that I think slowly.
Okay.
The earth is a sphere.
Okay.
Axis.
What?
Runs on an axis.
Okay. Good. I'm not a flat earther. I'm just saying there's some things about it that make sense. I don't think you can handle it.
Flat Earth has been getting a hell of a lot of play lately, from mainstream coverage of conventions to being a consistent and popular topic on podcasts. Entertainers have been going very deep into the topic. Just ask comedians Sam Tripoli and Owen Benjamin. Benjamin is a comedian, writer, and actor, often appearing on Steven Crowder, but also frequently live streams via his own YouTube channel. His own streams have discussed Flat Earth in length, resulting in a litany of clips supporting a transition to, or perhaps an inability to disprove certain aspects of the Flat Earth theory. Tripoli hosts a conspiracy podcast titled Tinfoil Hat. It's been growing steadily in popularity, especially when the super popular jiu-jitsu legend turned podcaster Eddie Bravo joins the squad. Where Bravo goes, conspiracy theories tend to be discussed. Becoming a sort of godfather of conspiracy, the Tinfoil Hat podcast with Eddie Bravo dives deep not only into discussion, but into real, prepared research onto whichever topics are given airtime. Leaving actual Flat Earth theory aside, if you run the gamut of conspiracy-themed podcasts, some parallels begin to appear. The apparent awakening of those newly aligning themselves as Flat Earth is very similar to the stories of those being red-pilled. Just like with those who have pulled off the veil of fake news, there seems to be many similar observable trends. Denial. This can't be real, this is the opposite of everything I thought I knew. From this comes a weird feeling, followed by taking a step back to perform some research. Anger, confusion, why was I lied to? Am I actually the free thinker I thought I was? What else is and is not true? It is this freeing aspect that tends to lead to a connection to a higher power or being in the brain, not unlike what those practicing transcendental meditation say they feel when they practice it, an escape from their conscious self. Perhaps it is this feeling that makes people connect the discovery of possible truths with a higher power or God. Netflix's documentary Beyond the Curve does very little to solve the debate. Showing one experiment that disproves Flat Earth, it goes behind the personalities and does little more than pit purveyors of related sciences against Flat Earthers. No conclusions drawn, but it does show us that there are Flat Earth dating sites now. It's easy to conclude that a Netflix documentary is just informative. Netflix, in itself, but with its Obama-themed shows, is still a biased organization. Their documentaries usually stand to serve a political or corporate purpose. Cowspiracy, Fire Festival. This one is no different. One theme it touches on, however, is the shaming. Something I have witnessed and something you'll hear people like Eddie Bravo speak about is how there is nothing that will get you made fun of more than revealing that you're a flat earther.
And there's so many people that are afraid to admit that they're looking into flat earth because of the amount of ridicule you get. You know what I mean? Right. I was quiet about it, but I was against it. I was trying to, people kept coming up to me, have you looked into flat earth? I'm like, dude, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, you're crazy.
This is like a couple of years ago. I'm like, shut the fuck. Joe, I was on Joe's podcast and he would bring it up because dude, people are so dumb. There's some people out there still believe the earth is flat. And I'm like, what the fuck? Are they really? There's people like that?
The label and shame tactic. It's something we've seen frequently in the media. It's what spawned belief in the Jussie Smollett hoax. If you're a flat earther, you won't be called a racist or white supremacist. You'll simply be thought of as a silly moron. The use of the shaming tactic, though, is quite clearly to prevent discussion, covering up an inability to intellectually debate, or trying to affect your opponent monetarily. A fast track to victory of sorts. Is this true for those who mock flat earthers?
But the curving horizon, the sloping sea level, the spin of the earth, unless you can see these phenomena with your own eyes, they may not be true. Unlike what we've been told in school, some flat earthers imagine the earth looks like a snow globe, round but not sphere. The North Pole is at the center of most flat earth maps, with the ice of Antarctica holding everything in.
So are you certain this is what the earth looks like?
Pretty sure.
What the flat earth model leads to, and what many say the ridicule is meant to hide, is that a firmament, or a dome, would completely ruin hundreds of years worth of indoctrination and propaganda. NASA and the space program, space in its entirety, would all be a big charade. Movies, science, school curriculums, all methods of indoctrination to keep this spinning lie alive.
From the air age, through the missile age, and into the age of space. Our space age heritage of knowledge is older than a decade, older than a century, older than a millennium. Our scientific knowledge has evolved through the ages concurrently with the minds of men. Our capacity to learn has expanded in the process.
The quote, NASA lie, is connected to all of this, with former Nazi scientist Werner von Braun and deceased head of NASA being the connection to why this entire lie would be necessary. On his grave, von Braun has the Bible passage Psalm 19:1, which states, "The heavens declare the glory of God, and the firmament showeth his handiwork." This passage and a long history of flat earth depictions by early civilizations and religions that some flat earthers say is behind the purpose of discrediting their arguments. The firmament or dome would confirm that we are indeed on a finite structure, and that comes with a large list of other theories. The ice wall, the entirety of space being a projection, NASA being a front organization, the moon being fake and therefore the lunar landings being fake. The latter, which was once championed by Joe Rogan, only for him to later change his mind.
When I look at all of it, when I look at the photographic evidence, when I look at the fact that we haven't been back since 1972, when I look at the fact that no humans except the Apollo astronauts have ever gone through the Van Allen radiation belt, the fact that no one's even done a flyby around the moon since then, it seems weird to me. When I look at the press conference and I see Buzz Aldrin and Neil Armstrong and Michael Collins nervous and weird and obviously like being deceptive after they came back, I go, what is that? I look at all that stuff.
Anybody that has any real sense, they would look at it and say, there's no way that that was a hoax. There's no way. There's no way that that was a hoax. There's no way.
There's no way people went on the moon. There's no way.
Flat Earth is indeed leading some people towards Christianity through this. It lines up with their research, and coupled with a mistrust in government and media institutions that have been proven to lie, the answer to the question why would be somewhere in the realm of control. A humanity thinking it isn't special, surrounded by a vast vacuum, undiscovered, and dangerous universe, is an easier one to manipulate. Or is Earth the center of the universe? All measures of cosmic background radiation in 1989, 2001, 2009, and 2016 have all pointed to the Earth being the center. Our planet is the axis point in the middle of the universe in these depictions, nicknamed the axis of evil. Look it up. Call them purveyors or call them researchers of conspiracy. Who do you trust? The church or the state? Probably neither. Political actors or simply podcasters? But among all these observations, I have indeed learned that if there is someone or group misdirecting, targeting, or labeling someone, it is often the tip of the iceberg, and what lays beneath is someone or thing looking to gain more power.
Yeah. Denver. Yeah. Stand up.
Hard body shit.
Flat boys.
Bang.
Let's go.
Hard body shit.
Ever since my birth, my dick got mad girth. I'm chilling with my people talking about that flat earth.
Last night, your boy had some sex with a nice girl. Did the Titanic really hit an iceberg?
When other people spend their life chasing wealth.